All right. Quick supply looks quite good here, actually. Supply spec, I don't know. Those hounds are quite garbage for setting fires. I mean, they can work if your opponent is like not that amazing, but it really doesn't take a lot to intercept the missiles, and then all of a sudden the game's gonna fall apart. You'd have to buy like Vulcans or something, pull some Vulcans out of your ass at full price. So I'd rather just get the Vulcans to begin with. All right, let's hope he doesn't. Let's hope he doesn't insta lock the arc lights. Kind of happy to see crawlers instead of hounds. Okay, so it's gonna be mass sabers. We gotta think about this. Potentially mass sabers. Sabers are quite strong. We played some like 23, 2400 players and for a while, and they were always going just like sabers. It's quite effective. I haven't exactly figured out what they were doing. I think like it's just a really nice tanking unit. With the anti-missile, it's also quite nice for the price. They, they sometimes prompt a burst mode on the Phantom Ray, and then it's an auto lose after that happens. So, unless he builds like 100 of them, then you click burst, but just like 3 or 4 with burst, just to make you click burst, it's so bad. It gets the armor. I don't think we go for anything here. It's probably going to be Phoenix first. You would think Phantom Ray, but actually it's Phoenix potentially first, just because a little bit more DPS, a little bit harder to kill. And I think we just float. I mean, we could go for charge shot right away. That might be overplaying the hand in case, we might end up regretting it later. So let's just hold on to the money. Okay, just building this board like a really solid player would, not committing to anything, wanting to counter what we do instead of trying to dictate the pace of the game himself. It's very smart of him. I wonder if like some fangs here actually start making sense because the fight goes on for so long that like the fangs would actually be good chaff. The Phoenix would be behind the fangs. We have nothing actually in between, you know. Like he could just put Phoenixes and then his fangs are just gonna tank all day. So then our Phoenixes insta lose pretty much. Wasp is quite interesting, but yeah, the Wasp is quite interesting. But might be something I want to counter instead of something. I don't know. Phantom Rays. Well, much as I like the Wasp, I don't like the single level 3 Wasp. I think it's a bit too much. So I wanted to go for Fangs here. But we also need to kind of go for some fire, right? Guess we have arc lights. We can just click arc light range. He does have loose formation, but I don't know. Get another Phoenix. Phoenixes are always good here. Um, 2 Phantom Rays are more than enough right now. Let's go for the Fangs, actually. Don't know exactly where we're supposed to put them. I guess this is fine. And what is it going to be? Another Phoenix? Or it's going to be just another crawler here? We click Phoenix range? Probably. Okay, goes for the Wasp. I mean, the Wasp is great. It's a super scary response. I don't want to see the Wasp. I wish he picked something else. That being said, it is quite is not crazy hard to counter the Wasp. Like, you know, if we get the Typhoon or, you know, we go for a Mustang, the Wasp just dies pretty quick. It's only level 3. Once it gets level, you know, 4, 5, 6, then yeah, it's very hard. See, even the fangs are actually killing it. It's almost a joke. Like it's yeah. This is not great. See, the fangs are so good chat value. Oh, can we kill this? No. Oh no. So much potential experience. So now we just need to get fire down. Clearly, this is not going to work anymore, right? So we need to go for a fire spell, or we need to go for fire. Steel balls still, I think, have a lot of application here, but we just need fire at this point. We could start with the oil, tower oil, or we could just start with our own oil, but maybe let's start with the tower oil first, just to see what he does. I mean, we'll always go Phantom Ray oil anyways. All right. Yeah, not much else we can do here. He ranges his fangs. That's very good to see. Because we're going straight into the ultimate fang counter. Did our opponent just potentially throw the game here, or is he okay? I would have been more worried to see range on the Wasp, actually. But I guess he only has one Wasp. So it could have been good, actually, to go for oil here. We would have been able to spread it. Instead, we leveled up our Saber. Now, we actually might lose to this here. Because these fangs are, you know... Yeah. So, that's fine, though. I mean, we gotta get him down to War Factory range, but this is kind of fine. Okay, we'll go for the Orbital. He's gonna do the same thing, most likely. He's gonna have shields, most likely. We're trying to hit this, guy. Maybe he's gonna beacon out. I give him credit if he beacons out. Wonder if I should do this instead, but I don't know. All right. So let's click the oil. Let's go for more Phantom Rays. And I wonder if we go for something here, because he's got the. He also has a stuff here that needs to burn. Ranges the arc lights, which is interesting. He gets the extinguisher hounds. That makes a lot of sense. But wouldn't you want your extinguisher hounds here? Why would it be on the flank? This is pretty good though. At least we don't lose our tower immediately, like with a Phoenix or something here. Ooh, actually, this fire doesn't connect. Now the wasps are making a beeline. We lost the fire. This is not good. Okay, so what do we need to do? We need to go for incendiary bomb, I think. We can solve this with fire, I think. There's no problem that fire can't solve. Oof. That was close. But still, he's got more of these annoying fangs. Okay. We're getting wielded down way too much here. This is not what we were trying to play for. We're going to go for a cell. We don't need any of this. And I think it's, you know, we have to go for the factory now. It's kind of nothing else we can do. It's sad, but it's only going to be a factory. It's going to be a tank factory? Do we just put it here? Because he's coming in on us. We just need to tank him, right? Theoretically, yes. Unless we push in here. So, You just go for armor here. Just put this guy here. And just let him tank, right? You know, we'll do this. This is kind of annoying, but I mean, the only problem is, yeah, that is super annoying actually. I think we need to be careful of that. Speed is not ideal because actually we don't want, no. Like, we want his wasps to tank, like, and okay, so we can missile this perhaps. But I don't want it to tank like, I don't know, because at the same time I want the wasp to lock on to this before, you know, the phantom rays come up, because the phantom rays are going to move too far up, and this may not lock on. Like these guys are going to lock on to the phantom rays, which is not what we want. Okay, get some ignition, but why is this not connecting here? We're probably gonna lose all the phoenixes, I think. Yeah. Wait. Oh no. All right. Well. Yeah. I mean, we'll probably still do the damage. So. Not a horrible result. Probably need to see if let's see if he's got ionization here. Oh, he doesn't have ionization. That's crazy. Okay. That's so good. So we'll do this. Probably gonna go for EMP, so we'll just go for this. And I think we need like the incendiary bomb here. Like this is just not working. If you know what I mean. Maybe this isn't that important, right? Like maybe maybe the photon isn't that important. I'd rather just get a second one. Definitely need the incendiary. We'll continue to missile this. I guess we don't need to, because now he's gonna fire the incendiary there automatically. And I guess we can go for a factory here and just kind of push in. And we could go for speed here, actually, just if we want to get in there. We're extremely broke here. I want to make sure that this beacon is actually correctly working. Okay. Speed is probably pretty important for this guy. Okay. It's not too concerning here. It's really not too concerning, especially since we're going for the tower snipe. Speed is quite good. The yeah, this is like, can't believe he goes for storm crawlers with the damage item. Surely that's not enough to kill a factory, right? I think that last round ended a little bit too well for him. Perhaps he just got a little bit overconfident. He didn't think about what could have. Wasn't thinking about like what we could have done. This is almost gonna kill him, but not quite. And now we get into the real game here. So we're gonna need wasps, obviously. Wasp chaff. So we'll go for the wasp chaff. Because he has ground chaff already. We'll go for the maximum amount of wasps. At least, you know, at least a couple here. At least a couple here. We'll go for shield as well, I think. The oil is available. And I do think we want to oil this. So we can... This is obviously the best way that we can get... this is the best way that we can get in, but, you know... That being said, there's way more stuff here. So it's kind of hard, it's kind of tricky, but he's likely to put shields down. So we'll think about this later. Probably want Photon. Or Launcher Overload. Either one. Hard to say. Let's go for Photon. Let's go for the oil here. And let's continue with the beacon here. We sell out of maybe this, continue to missile here, or just throw more missiles down here. Maybe here. Okay. Actually go for acid, so we perfectly have perfectly countered him with the I wasn't expecting the Scorpion, I was expecting EMP from the Raiden. So but he actually perfectly countered us with the Wasp here. And when this Photon wears off, it's going to be a little scary, but I think we got this. Yeah. Just depends if yeah, I think we got this. There's no way. So you put the Wasp here. Should have at least clicked HE. I mean AA, I think, but we definitely needed this. If we didn't have this, man, I don't even want to think about what could have happened. He went for that. The only other play I would have went was maybe Launcher Overload for this side, just because we get into the tower quicker. We clear his chaff. Did we use the oil, right? I forgot where we used the oil. It's probably here. I mean, if you just look at how much stuff he has, it's probably not bad to use the oil. But surely he's going to shield here and shield here. I mean, he probably also would shield here. It's kind of hard to say. I mean, in retrospect, I don't know if we used the oil here because then, I mean, the missiles already kind of killed some of his stuff. And then the factory might get stuck in the oil. So, yeah, I got to say that I'm surprised by how well that went for us. I'm also surprised that it worked like so perfectly, with the photon. And in some of the other videos we talk about the factory is, what is it? What is its purpose? Is it a sniping tower factory? Is it a DPS factory? If so, they need to be on the line. They need to get close to the units that they're trying to kill. If it's a tanking factory, they don't need to necessarily be that close. They can be a little bit further back just so, it takes time for the units to come to them. In the last round, though, I mean, I was a little bit concerned because we're trying to tank the Wasps, but it actually didn't. For him, if he clicked HE, if he went like AA Wasps, it would have been an absolute nightmare because he would have been able to kill pretty much everything in the air, and we wouldn't have been able to deal with the Raiden. So even if we like completely dominate the ground and take both towers, I think if he has AA Wasp with like range or something and just quite a lot of them, I think he can still win. All right, so there's a couple things to look at. So this is the round we went for the tank Wasp, tank factory. Opponent's at 4,000. Get him down 500, so we only win by the factory. So in retrospect, I wonder if we played that correctly. I wonder, and the only reason is, okay, wait a second. The only reason is that the Wasps don't actually tank. It doesn't tank the Wasps. And the Wasps are pretty much the number one thing you want to tank. It's like Mustangs. Mustangs and Wasps are the number one thing you want to tank with the factory. Okay, so we go for the cell, I think here. We go for the Raiden cell. All right, so let's see. Level 2. And, you know, we put it here, we click range, but I just wonder if that was the correct play. Like, kind of feel like it needs something to tank all this and kind of kill it, because it may not even... I just didn't want this to get stuck shooting fangs all day. That, and then just get DPS down by the sabers. At the same time, if you put it here, then that doesn't happen necessarily, because maybe this kind of burns these guys. Then it kind of, you know, it doesn't tank that much from the saber, but then at the same time, the wasp doesn't tank it. So there's a couple approaches here. So we'll try just tanking it on the line. And I think we have to missile this, otherwise things are going to get precarious. Speed also kind of makes sense. You just put it here just to make sure that, well, that this kind of comes in before our units meet up. I mean, I think we instead of speed, we just missiled this, so we'll try to do the same thing. So I think this position is fine. And let's just see if this is able to tank. Okay, 10%. 20. Okay, now our army finally arrives. He's at like 66. Everything's on fire. The wasps are tanking, which is exactly what we want. And I think this is better, actually. I think this is way better. How's it looking over here? Okay, not great. Oof. Are we gonna lose the factory? So close. I don't know. Wait a second. Okay. We're kind of playing with fire there, but it did look like this was a little better. That being said, in the future round, if he puts down like a melter, like let's say you put it here, then he puts a melter here. What are you gonna do? You'd have to beacon it backwards. So then you can't beacon this forward. So maybe, you know, in an isolated scenario, I'm thinking like maybe the benefit is it's safer from the melter here. But the opponent, he actually didn't go for the melter. He went for like some crazy like scorpion play that's completely useless. So I mean, had he went for melter, like did we actually play this well, or did just our opponent kind of throw this with the scorpion? Because he spent like probably more than we did, like on his scorpion counter that did nothing because of the photon. I mean, surely he knew that we were gonna click photon, right? Okay, so okay. What does the opponent do here? Goes for this. Okay, so clearly this is not the greatest counter. I would, from my perspective, I mean, I never want to play against Melter. I mean, against the Factory. Okay, so I would have just went for the Melters instead of this, for sure. So round 7. Okay, we need to do 1500 to take out the Ray. Electromag is interesting, but we know that, you know, there might be a shield, but I mean, you know, perhaps the EMP is good, right? But I don't know. Maybe the damage item is better on a melter. Kind of hard to say. I mean, we can also always click EMP, but it's 500. I don't know. Maybe it's better to just go for the damage. Either or, right? I mean, get damage item and then just get 2 level 1 melters, right? So we'll put it on this one, go for range. Here or here, probably just here. Then we put something similarly around here, right? Borrow, go for temp range. Maybe go for another, like, maybe go for a little chaff here. And maybe 1 crawler. Okay, we kind of too cheap that we got EMP'd ourselves. All right, one problem solved. This is going to be a huge problem. But I bet like usually the opponent would go for a shield here, so might be unusual. And it's either, you know, the shield or it's either the EMP on the opponent or the damage item. But I think this is enough here, even if this side falls. Maybe. Oof. That's a crazy Okay, so we perhaps win by that, but if we do the same thing and we just put a melter down with range, it's gonna be a really, really sad story here. So we can even just, let's just say we skip here, right? Just so we can afford our chaff. Obviously we put a shield down here. You know, something like this or this. Maybe he just wanted to confirm that we were keeping this. You know, something down here is also good, but okay, get the lock. It's only level 1 melter. Here you can see that the crawler is a very good idea, but look. Yeah, so I think putting it in the back is not necessarily going to do anything, because, yeah, that thing died way too quick. And now it's going to be more than 1300 damage. Yeah, maybe we didn't play this actually that well. It's just the opponent probably just didn't know how to deal with this. Okay, round 8. Round 8, I mean, yeah. Why not just go for a melter, right? So let's try the same thing on round 8. Let's just go for melters. Now we know the oil is available. I actually say sell out of this. This is completely useless. And we'll, you know, probably put something like this for the oil. And we have this. Probably have a shield down here, maybe here for the oil. You just go for another melter. Probably. Obviously a missile here. It's hard to say here. I mean, we kind of needed the yeah, these wasps are absolutely devastating now, but yeah, we kind of needed the the chaff running through. So maybe the chaff was better than the extra melter. Just retry that. Could even go for elite recruit instead. So go for a single chaff here. Go for the elite recruit. Okay, at least we have the crawlers coming in. Is that going to be enough? It doesn't look like it. Oh, it's so close. It's so close. It's not enough. It is so close. Still not enough. We actually win this side, I think. Kind of. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, it's kind of surprising actually. We had a pretty decent back line. The Phantom Rays and the Phoenixes, they do so much. Like for the back line for the War Factory. No. So not only do they give the oil, but they're doing some pretty decent damages. But the Phoenixes are the main damage dealers. So I don't know about this play. I think this is maybe bad. I was just thinking, well, he's got the arc lights already, but that being said, the arc lights probably lock on to this, and the crawlers probably come through. So I'm not in love with this play, but we did get mass produced wasp. So for 100, I think it's kind of worth it. But then maybe the wasp is the problem, right? That's the thing we weren't thinking about. But he didn't have a wasp here necessarily. He didn't have any tax, so I don't know. We probably didn't play that amazingly, but man, going for the incendiary on the Vulcan was pretty clutch, and we're glad again to win a quite long 3 round factory game.